Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to CTN's Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski, soon to be joined by Kevin the Mayor Bryant, and we are at Holloway Field to see the Pioneers taking on the #1 state-ranked Dexter Dreadnoughts. The Dreadnoughts are not ranked #1 for no reason. They've got a powerful offense, excellent coaching, and their defense has been getting the job done, but really they're known for putting points on the board. This will be a tall task for the Pioneers here tonight, but they're coming off the first win for new coach Kelvin Griggs. They've got lots of athletes and offensive weapons and some momentum after the first win last week. So stick around. Kickoff is coming right up.
Against your Ann Arbor Pioneers.
And welcome to another Friday Night Lights. It's the Game of the Week time, and we got Dexter on the map. First time we've had them on our screen for a long time, Nick. And they're bringing in one of the most high-powered offenses in the state, 4-0. Last two contests against Pioneer have not been kind to the Pioneers. And really, for Coach Griggs and his staff, he's looking across the sideline at a program that he would like to emulate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's going to tell anybody within earshot, hey, within a couple of years, this is what we want to be. This is exactly the blueprint. This is what we're looking forward to. This is what we're trying for. And I don't blame him, because right now Dexter is just in a class above just about everybody else in the SEC, and they're a great success story. And just fantastic helmets. Those helmets are so good. So good, Dreadnoughts. Love the name. I'm always big on alliteration. So just everything about Dexter is just fun for this guy. But don't sleep on those all-purple unis for the Pioneers. They're looking pretty good, too.
Well, they went all one solid color, the Coach Griggs squad, as we're ready for the opening kick by the Dreadnoughts. So you're a battleship guy, huh, Nick?
Who isn't?
Yeah, I love that game back in the day. Kickoff is returned up to about the 27-yard line. That looks like Devontae Holmes on the carry. So we'll see the Pioneer offense to come out to begin the game. And, they're going up against a defense that has been pretty stingy as well. The Dreadnoughts have not given up over, let's see, they gave up 21 points in the first game, 14 points since. A shutout last week when they faced Lincoln.
Yeah, Dexter does it on both sides of the ball. They've got big, strong kids. They've got a lot of experience. It's going to be an uphill battle here for the Pioneers. But they are coming off their first win under Coach Griggs, like we talked about, and they're going to be looking to build on that. He said they had a really nice week of practice. Said kids are loose and having a good time, and they know what this game is going to be about for them. Right? They know what the expectations are, and they're going to try to put in some wrinkles and try to have a little bit of fun.
And they have to have fun after coming off that win last week, the first win of the season. Scored a lot of points, 41 points. And on plays, just like we just saw there, a run up the middle to begin a drive.
Just always, every drive that run up the gut. Just try tone setting. And we'll see how long they stick with that, because thus far that's 2 really nice tackles by those interior linemen for Dexter, just pushing past those offensive linemen and gobbling up the back.
That was Baker on that tackle, Emmerich on the first one. You're right. Those big hog mollies up front for Dexter aren't even allowing Holmes to get to the second level. And Wong, who was on fire last week for 6 touchdown passes, now has an empty backfield on this 3rd and long.
Key player of the week last week was Wong. Now we'll probably see his arm here and see what he can do. Maybe a little slant pass.
He finds his favorite target. That'll be Farha. Farha with a great move out of the tackle, and that's what he does best. He shows off his wheels. He'll go out of bounds right about midfield. And did we have a penalty on the end of the play? I know that I heard a whistle. Officials running to the top of the sideline. Great move there, Nick, though, by Farha.
Excellent job for Farha to turn, make that reception just a little past the line of scrimmage, make a couple of guy misses, and goes up the sideline.
Well, it looks like they're going to wave that penalty flag off, and that'll be a first down for the Pioneers.
We saw a big block from one of the Pioneer players that really helped him get those extra 5-6 yards there. And that's what these young Pioneers have got to do. Everybody's got to carry their weight. Everybody's got to chip in, blocking up field to be a part of that. And then the big thing for the Pioneers is stay away from the penalties.
Self-inflicted wounds. You're correct about that. And that play is what the Pioneers were showing off last week. Big play ability.
Yes.
You know, they through the air, Wong he's found his favorite target already, Farha. And now we're going into a pitch out. Great grab there by Holmes. Won't gain any yards, though. It'll be a loss of 4 on the play. Brought down by number 0, Bogman. Nate Bogman for the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, here we see Holmes takes his eye off it for just a second and unfortunately juggles it. Did a great job of sticking with it and getting it, but you got to think that if he receives that cleanly, gets it, he might be able to get around that first tackler and maybe not pick up anything big, but maybe get a couple of yards out of it.
It did slow down his momentum going to the edge. That'll bring up a 2nd and long for the Pioneers. But they're over in the Dexter side of the field, so successful drive to begin the game by flipping the field already.
Yeah, and it's these little victories that a team like Pioneer is counting on. And really, if you're Dexter, what you want to do is mitigate those as much as possible.
Davis Taylor on the tackle there for the Dreadnoughts. Reception by Ocean Grabs, but only 1 yard on the pass play. I'll bring up a 3rd and 14.
It'll be interesting to see what the Pioneers dial up on this one. If they go empty backfield again, try to get some of their players in slants. You mentioned Ocean Grab's name a moment ago. He's a favorite target. Like to see Farhad. You never know who might be getting thrown to out of the backfield as well. It was a nice slick play.
I'm glad you said Farhad because he has been Wong's favorite target throughout the season. He's lined up in the slot on the bottom half of the picture near you on the TV screen in those neon shoes. You can't miss him. Little jump on the defensive line, but that didn't bring a flag. Coach Griggs is very upset. That'll be a timeout, looks like, on the Pioneer sideline.
Timeout, Pioneer.
And you've got to wonder if that was a designed play to try to get Dexter to jump off sides. And you wonder if that's something that that Coach Griggs has seen in the game film, maybe knowing that some Dexter players get a little antsy on 3rd down, or maybe they get a little blitzy. Yep.
And he did have a player that did go into the neutral zone. Interesting enough, though. Really weird. No flag on the play.
No flag, yep. And now you'll see in Dexter's huddle there, they're probably discussing, like, hey, be aggressive, but don't shoot yourself in the foot. Yep.
Watch the ball. Now the Pioneers, they did have Farha out on the wide side of the field. Look for Wong to maybe roll that way.
Yeah, they rolled him out more than a few times. He did a pretty nice job of throwing on the run, little run and gun action, and that is a Coach Griggs special. He loves to get a lot of guys wide. He likes to play fast.
Farha in motion, quick snap. It'll be a screen play to Holmes. really bottled up there by the Dreadnoughts. Number 12 on the tackle there, Noah Pitts came up, and also Valerio for the Dreadnoughts.
And here you see that high snap to Wong, and there's a Parachek just coming in. He just towers over Wong. Wong was lucky to get that over him. I'm curious if that pass was just out of sheer necessity and self-preservation, or if it was actually drawn up that way.
Well, great defense either way by the Dreadnoughts as far as reading that screenplay and just snuffing it out. Nothing for the Pioneers. Will bring up a punt formation with Brabs behind the center, let's say, in the punt formation. He'll take the snap. Flag on the play. Ball will come into the hands of Cole Cabana. Cabana will break one tackle and see you later. This guy has been doing this to everybody around the state, folks. Flag was on the play, though. So let's see if this return is going to stick. It looked like it was a 73-yard return or maybe further, but let's see what the flag is going to be. The refs are meeting at the center of the field to see if there was maybe someone offsides that would give this a do-over for the Pioneers.
It came off, that flag came out real early. Offside seems like it's a very possible thing, although it could be false start, which will get waved off.
Yeah, it looks like it was a legal procedure. Not enough players on the line of scrimmage for the Pioneers. Enough players on the field. Either way, that touchdown will stick for Cole Cabana. We said that he might be the player of the game before the game, and he's showing us why.
Yeah, right from the start. I mean, just did a great job of receiving that punt. Just nothing fancy about it either. Just speed right up the gut, broke a couple of tackles, and I mean, he didn't do it all by himself. There was some great blocking up front for him too. I mean, that's the big thing about Dexter is it's not just one dude out there doing everything, carrying a team. You can't get that way in football. He's got a lot of teammates that are out there working with him.
And Herder on the kick, and that kick will be good as the Dreadnoughts will take an early 7-0 lead over the Pioneers.
7:30 remaining first quarter.
And here we can probably take a look at that kick return. But first we'll take a look at Herder, their southpaw kicker. Here we go. Cabana gets it on the run. Just a great job of catching that on the move. Breaks some tackles, and once he gets past that little grouping there, donezo. Over.
Yeah, and he's giving high fives before he's going into the end zone. Parachek, hey, you see me? Did you check me out? I mean, Cole Cabana will be playing across the street for Coach Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines next year. 4-star. He's the number 6 running back in the nation, and he just showed off his 4.34 speed in the 40.
I mean, he was gone, but again, a smart play. He didn't just receive that punt flat-footed. He hit that punt running, and he had a nice head of steam by the time he had that second step going. That's really impressive. That's really smart. That takes a lot of coordination and timing and practice and God-given talent, all of the above.
In the second game of the year, I believe he had 31 points against Skyline. So, I mean, by himself, he almost had a running clock. I mean, the guy's that amazing. So now the kickoff for the Dreadnoughts. And that'll be Farha, but he'll accept it in the end zone, so that'll be a touchback. Pioneers will start their drive, their second drive of the game at the 20.
And we'll see if they can build on anything from that first drive. Not a total disaster for the Pioneers on the first one. They held on to the ball, first of all. For the most part, stayed penalty-free, also important. But they got a couple of first downs there, and we'll see if they can keep that. And I'm curious if they will stick with the tradition of running one right up the gut.
Run the ball first. Run the ball first. I mean, it's a good drive setter, especially if you're getting positive yards.
Well, and that's the rub, isn't it? You'd like to get at least a yard or two out of that if you're especially going to do the same thing over and over again.
And you saw what happens when you give the ball to Dexter. They're explosive. I mean, so you want to possess the ball to keep that explosive unit off the field as much as you can for Coach Griggs. So Pioneer will get the ball. It'll be a good snap, but tackle for loss by Parachek will be Wong.
And Parachek and Wong are already going to be close. I don't necessarily going to call them friends, but they've been really a part of each other. Parachek has seen an awful lot of Wong up close and personally. He knows what kind of gun he was chewing before the game.
Yeah, and he knows the cologne and everything else that Wong has on. I mean, he got back there pretty quickly, and he's going up against one of the larger players on the Pioneer sideline, number 77, at left defensive tackle, Nick Boland. So he's going to have his hands full all night long. So second down, and it looks like, and that'll be no gain on the play, and maybe possibly injured going to the ground is Holmes.
As Nathan Gersh on the tackle there, tackle for loss, freshman Nathan Gersh.
Only freshman on the squad, and you can see why. Big kid we were noticing before the game, just looking at the roster, and you can see him go inside and just sling Holmes to the ground. Holmes to let go of the ball and just grab the shoulder, and that's usually when you can see that shoulder getting jammed up possibly.
Well, it looks like towards the end there, it looks like his knee might have got stepped on while he's on the ground as well.
He's in definitely pain on the ground there as the trainers come out on the field to attend to him. We'll take a quick break and come back after the Pioneers attend to their injured player. Welcome back to Hallway Field. This is Kevin Bryant, joined in the booth with my man Nick Wisniewski. I tried.
Did great.
Okay.
Do or do not. There is no try. Wise man.
As the Pioneers begin their second drive, third down on their second drive, and the ball will be snapped and it'll go through the back of the end zone, and that will end up being a safety.
Probably a heads-up play there by Wong to just slap that thing out as opposed to giving Dexter the opportunity to fall on that. I mean, there were, four dudes in there, 4 dreadnoughts all over that, ready to pounce on that. So Wong wisely just flipped that bad boy out there.
And that's they've been having Pioneers some issues with their center exchange out of the gun. There's a couple times that there was some surprise snaps last week against Skyline. We saw in the drive before this a bad snap coming back to Wong. So wrong place, wrong time for that to happen.
Well, for sure down there, that's definitely not where you want that to happen. But yeah, the Pioneers, as we've mentioned, just every week basically, they've got a lot of inexperience, especially up front in the line. Coach Griggs there will not even be embarrassed to say we have a very young, inexperienced offensive line. We've got kids that have never even played the position before. So these things are going to happen. These growing pains will happen. You just don't want to see them down there when you're in your own zone that way.
Milo Simpson is the center. He snaps with a glove. So he gets a very good grip on the ball. Sometimes maybe, though, that glove will stay on the ball a little longer, and you get these errant snaps. So now the Pioneers will elect to do a traditional kickoff from the free kick. It'll be from the 20-yard line, ball on the tee, as opposed to doing a punt. Brabs has been doing some good punts lately. I don't know if I might go to him for this kick.
Well, I'm also curious if they might do more of a line drive kick here or trying to just keep it away from Cole Cabana.
So Jing will now kick it off, and that's another issue for the Pioneers. That has to be maybe the 5th time that we've witnessed them kick the ball off out of bounds.
Right,
so that'll be a penalty on the Pioneers, and that'll be some great field position to start off the first offensive possession for the Dreadnoughts.
Got some Pioneer faithful out there. We're not seeing Purple
What do you think?
Gang out
What's
there
the night
yet.
tonight? Is it Jersey night?
Oh, it could be Jersey night or pro. No, not pros because there's a lot of U of M stuff.
I love the
Jersey
old school
night.
Pistons guy back there in the back though. He's sporting a teal.
I could do without it.
You don't
but
like
that's
the
okay.
teal?
Nah, I'm all set on those teals.
I mean, the teal was the Grant Hill years, man.
That's fine.
You
That's
just don't
great.
like the jersey.
That's when everybody was doing teal, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like
It
everybody
was.
said, oh, the San Jose Sharks thing, we're making money. Now we're all teal.
I feel you because I have a problem when teams go, let's go black and our school
Right.
colors are red.
Right.
So,
Right. Just run with what got you here.
So I'm not sure what the stoppage of play is right now. The officials, they definitely love to get on their CTN screen FaceTime, and they're soaking it in. No penalty or anything like that. We just want to have the camera zoom in on us.
I think they're waiting on director Rob Cross to make a key referee of the game award for them.
Oh, wow.
They've seen the key and they want a part of it.
them. I really wanted to throw a flag on the play. Well, the Dreadnoughts on their first offensive snap. Reeves Taylor will throw over the middle of Parachek. Parachek will catch the ball. He'll take it all the way down to the 14, maybe the 15-yard line. Boy, we weren't kidding when we said explosive, Nick.
No, I mean, he fired that ball right into Parachek, and I know we're going to use this phrase a lot, and this phrase is going to be used a lot. Great job, great play action pass. He nails Parachek, and Parachek, just look at him. He is a man among boys, shooting up the middle.
All of it. I mean, he's showing off the size and the hands as well to haul that one in.
Yeah, Reeves Taylor fired that into him.
And that'll be Cole Darby in. He'll take the quick pass, and he'll scoot up the sidelines for a 14-yard touchdown for the Dreadnoughts. So Reeves Taylor will have his first touchdown pass on the night on his second attempt.
And another play-action pass there. It's really interesting. You don't see a ton of that sort of thing from your high schools nowadays, but they seem that little bit of misdirection or that little bit of off timing has paid off nicely for them.
And Novara, number 88 for the Dreadnoughts, great blocking on the edge. As the Dreadnoughts set up for the extra point, the kick is up and it looks good, and that will make it a 16-0 start for the Dreadnoughts here in the first quarter of our CTN Sports Game of the Week.
Right you are, Kevin, especially calling out that block upfield. You know, again, this Dexter team, it's not about just being a bunch of athletes. It's not about being superstars or four-star kids or recruits or whatever. They're top to bottom a very good team, and they've got everybody contributing and everybody playing correctly. Right? When just because you didn't get the ball doesn't mean you don't help your teammate with that block upfield. That's what you're supposed to be doing, and that is what they are doing.
Dexter was 5-5 last year, a lot of close games, and they definitely want to finish off this year and off to an amazing start. Coach Phil Jacobs, he definitely just changed the culture around since he's been the leader of the program.
Yeah, and you wonder, because they have outplayed everybody that they've seen so far this year, what they will be like when they get in with a close one.
So Farha will take it from the 2, and he won't even make it to the 20-yard line, brought down about right outside the 20, where the Pioneers begin their third drive.
Brought down by Brady Shorter.
See Kalen Wong getting back out there, see if he can avoid those Dreadnought pass rushers. And I really wonder what the trick will be here to get him a little bit more time. Will it be roll him out a little bit more, try some bootlegs? Will they throw another blocker in there? They're not throwing a running back there to help him out. So I'm very interested to see how this plays.
If I'm Coach Griggs, I'm loosening the playbook up. You definitely want to learn. You want to have fun, but you want to be unpredictable as well. So not having the running back in the backfield to start off with is something different for the Pioneers. They'll still throw the ball over to Farha, and he'll be close to a first down. That'll be about an 8-9 yard gain on the reception.
There you see Kalen Wong receiving that. He's dialed into Farha the whole way. And a quick pass. Great job by Farha to make that first guy miss and then get forward another 3-4 yards. So yards after catch is going to be big for the Pioneers in this one.
Farha probably, I'm just going to go on record. We've seen him 3 weeks in a row. One of the most exciting sophomores that we've had on the CTN Sports Game of the Week in a while.
He's funny. See, he's getting that Pioneer crowd excited.
That's what they need to do. Wong will keep it on this play, and it'll be brought down short of the line of scrimmage by the defensive end, number 80. And the Brock Komaromi on the tackle.
You see that pocket collapse on Wong once again, doing a great job of skirting out there, just kind of like squirting through there.
And just trying to get as much as he could out of a play that's going nowhere. Wong again with the empty set. Hard count. Dreadnoughts not falling for that as Wong will look to the sideline to get the play called in.
You see Dexter likely only rushing 3 men. Maybe they get that fourth linebacker on the outside.
That's almost 4 people.
Exactly.
I mean, it might be 3. And you're right, if 4 actually comes in, Wong will roll out to his right, back over the middle. You don't see that throw too often. to be successful. Farha will catch it, though. Looks like he'll be just a yard short of the first down. It'll be very close. Are they going to measure this, or are they going to just give him the first? Looks like they're going to go ahead and give him the first.
You see Wong rolling away, and just not the prettiest ball I've ever seen. Might have gotten tipped coming out of his hands, but Farha stays with it, gets it, and rewarded with the first down.
A wonder dash for the linebacker, inches away from getting that ball and taking it the other way for the Dreadnoughts. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line with 3:30 remaining here in the first quarter. And Pioneer has, pretty much had the possession of the ball the first quarter, Nick. Wong on the run. Very close to another first down for the Pioneers. And twofold, that keeps the chains moving, as well as get that crowd into the game.
Yeah, you love to see your quarterback, especially your plucky, gritty, young, smaller than everybody out there quarterback, making that turn, going upfield, taking a hit at the end, and like you said, moves the chains. It keeps the sidelines invested in what's going on. It gets everybody excited. You love to get that going.
Yeah, and we probably will see a little bit more run from Wong with Holmes going to the locker room on that last drive, getting injured. Good to see for Coach Griggs and his staff. Now Wong goes under center for the first time. He'll still roll out to his right. He'll look for Farha, and that ball will be tipped at the last moment by Herter.
A really aggressive Dreadnought there, went up and almost got that, but when it went over him, that opened the door for Farha to possibly get that guy.
Yeah, and that's going to be the play. Get Farha the ball. Go left, go right, because he's your guy that can match the big play ability that the Dreadnoughts have.
Well, we haven't talked too much about Ocean Brabs. He's quick, but it seems like they've had a man on him most of the game. It's been Noah Pitts, I believe, whether it's playing linebacker or if he's just straight up playing corner. But Brabs has been taken out of this one so far.
And now another bad snap from center. This one's low, and that'll be a big loss for the Pioneers and really put them in a hole now. That'll move them back about 15 yards.
And that's disheartening, too, to get a couple of first downs, to be making your way up the field, and then to have that one go by. Great job by Wong to chase that down, fall on it as he should. Good heads-up play. But, man, that's frustrating.
Yeah, that's a drive killer. It'll bring up a 3rd and 25, 24. And there's not too many plays in your playbook that can get that kind of yardage back, especially when you're having so much success. Looks like Dexter will bring a little bit of a hard rush. Screen set up, though, to Farha, and that'll only go for a short gain. It'll bring up a 4th and forever for Pioneer.
Well, the Dreadnoughts pulled back into a nickel-style defense. They were almost completely zoned. They're waiting for that. They gave them that pass up the middle. But regardless of that, we saw Brandon Parachak in on Wong again. And just, that big 6'6" kid coming at you, just play after play. It's got to be tiring.
You can't see anything as he's coming to you, and he's moving with some pace. So back now for the Pioneers to punt. It'll be Jing. Jing will look, and he'll kick it right into the Pioneer sideline. Not too long of a punt either.
No, they probably netted about, 15, 16 on that one?
Yeah, didn't even get to the first down marker. Turnover on downs, and it'll actually be 1st and 10 from the 45.
And there we saw Jang take a little go to kick it, then a little bit of a stutter step, a little bit of a dance move, and then send it over there. I bet Wong wishes he had that kind of time back there.
Well, this is the scary part for the Pioneers when the Dreadnoughts offense comes out onto the field. Didn't take long for them to find the end zone. Only 2 plays last drive. Their second drive will begin here with another pass from Taylor. He'll find Tesmer. Tesmer go for a short gain, but a flag comes in late. That'll be from the ref. So I wonder if that might be a personal foul variety, Nick.
Very well could be. They're going to talk it over, describe it, say where it landed. Tesmer, another over 6-foot receiver for the Dreadnoughts. They've just got a mile of those kids down there.
Tyson Bowen makes the stop for Pioneer.
And actually, it is going to be a personal foul against the Dreadnoughts. So that play will count, and they're going to roll this all the way back. Let's see if we can catch it at the end where somebody comes in, and there was either a late play. Do you think that was it right there, Nick?
I do. I think it's very strong.
The flag comes in at
Could
too.
very well be Carson Connolly there. Just give him a little bit of the business. After the initial block, that's fine. And then afterwards, just a little business. Or they could have called it a blindside block as well.
Yeah, and Crossley, I mean, he had nothing that he could do on that play. Now Taylor again. He'll throw the ball out to the outside. Believe that's Tesmer again.
Pass complete. Once again to Joey Tesmer.
And looks like that'll be about a 10-yard gain on play, Nick.
Right, you are.
Bringing up 2nd and 14 as we approach 1 minute remaining in the opening quarter. So similar play again. Tesmer, though, as he's running downfield, loses the ball. And a fortunate bounce right to his hands.
Well, it's a good thing Tesmer was going full speed ahead. It just helped him to get him that much further, and then you can fall on that one. But that could have been disastrous for the Dreadnoughts. As you said, Tesmer, almost the exact same play, only this near side was here. And then just out of nowhere, just jumps out.
His legs too hard.
Maybe.
You know, he was putting it into third gear, and that thigh comes up and hits the ball, and he gets all of those yards because he was the same person that fumbled it and recovered it. So now Reeves Taylor over the middle, again complete to Parachek, and Parachek will take it in for his 2nd score of the game, but hold that noise, penalty on the play.
Brennan Parachek.
Let's see if this is, it looks like it may be on the Dreadnoughts. Everybody's moving back, and the flag was thrown in the vicinity of a hold.
Yeah, even Dexter's pulling back. They know that one's probably no good.
There is a flag on the play.
And it looks like there was an illegal man downfield, and we can see if we can see any of the linemen get downfield too far. It looks like 77 is chasing his man down the field, and that's not the way to do it. There's been so many bubble screens thrown, you still can't go downfield and start blocking. So that'll help out the Pioneers and bring this 1st and 15 now for the Dreadnoughts. And there goes Cabana. Cabana on his 2nd time touching the ball. A go in for the touchdown from 27 yards out for the Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, and I think we got a really good feeling of that being here down in the stadium. I hope you're picking it up that on camera, but just look at this first step that he gets. I mean, he's just fast. He's just fast. And there you go. I mean, even after he was slightly tripped up, he did a great job of keeping his balance. And it seemed like he even picked up steam after almost getting tripped up.
Yeah, Cabana is one of those guys that could probably play a lot of different positions once he gets into the next level. He's just a playmaker, and he sees stuff before it happens. That's how he stepped out of that tackle there before it came into fruition for the Pioneers. Another penalty on the play on the extra point attempt, and looks like it'll be against the Dreadnoughts. They'll move the ball back 5 yards before the attempt again.
And if there's a takeaway for your Dexter Dreadnoughts right now, it's we got to stop these penalties, right? They are clearly the better team. Everybody knew this going in, but you need to discipline yourself to not take these penalties and just try to play as clean of a game as possible.
That extra point will make it a 23-0 game for the Dreadnoughts over the Pioneers. And you're right, Nick. It's something that Coach Jacobs wants to have something from the film room to tell his players, this isn't how we're going to get to where we want to be. It's not winning these regular season games. It's preparing for the state playoffs.
Right, and what we mentioned earlier about playing close games. if you're going to win close games, you have to be the team taking less penalties. You don't want to play down to your competition. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. You just want to do your assignment, do what you're supposed to do, and walk out of here with a W, presumably.
And now we'll have not Holmes back deep for Pioneer. We have a new return man back there. It's number 19. He is not, unless it's 18, Charles Cameron near side. And joining Tyler Craig back there. And taken from about the 6-yard line. That's actually 18, Cameron. So Cameron will go out of bounds about the 21-yard line where the Pioneers will begin their drive.
And now with 27 seconds to go here in this first quarter, all Dexter. But there have been some bright spots for Pioneer. We've seen them hit a couple of big plays. You've seen them move the ball a little bit. Wong doing a really nice job of doing his best to get away from those big defensive linemen of the Dreadnoughts, those big rushes. However, on the other side of the ball, defensively, Pioneer doesn't have a lot to hang their head on yet. So they've got to keep plugging away on that side of things.
And as the Pioneers come out, Sam Bonasso's in the backfield. We haven't heard his name. He's a guy that's a pounder. So maybe he's a guy that you can start going to with some of these runs that can, again, that's where you had some success for Pioneer early in this game. Bonasso will take the handoff. Short gain on the play, about a 1-2 yard gain.
Yeah, and that one went outside, a little off tackle instead of trying to run it right out the gut. That's probably personal choice by Bonasso there. So good for him for hopefully seeing something in there and making that shuffle to the right and trying to get outside of it.
Well, that'll probably be our final play of this opening quarter. That is all from Dexter. I mean, from the special teams plays to the perfect passer rating for Reeves Taylor. So the Pioneers will look at an uphill battle, let's say, Nick, going into the second quarter. We'll take a short break and be right back here on CTN Sports.
Voting absentee in Ann Arbor's upcoming election is so easy, even a kid can do it. Simply register to be an absentee voter by sending the proper paperwork to the Ann Arbor City Clerk via email, mail, or in person. As the election approaches, absentee voters will receive their ballot in the mail. To vote, completely darken the box opposite each of your choices. When complete, place a ballot in the secret sleeve so votes cannot be seen and the number stub is visible. Place your ballot and secret sleeve in the return envelope. Seal, sign and date in the designated area, stamp and mail, or deliver your ballot in person to the city clerk before the close of polls on Election Day.
And welcome back to the CTN Sports Game of the Week. Nick, we were just talking about how the Pioneers have had some success with the running game, and now they're going to have to do it without their best running back, probably for the remaining of the game, as Javante Holmes goes out and he's been replaced by Sam Bonasso.
Well, and it's not like Bonasso's chopped liver out there. Like, we've seen a fair amount of his work. We've seen his resume to this point already, so it's good.
Farha on the swing pass, and the entire Dexter defense tackles him.
But a nice job by Farha to make a couple of people miss, and it's self-preservation, right? Like, I really don't want to get hammered by all of these kids that are so much bigger than me, so I'm gonna have to get some moves.
It was amazing for him to stay on his feet that long after that short gain. Gonna bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Pioneers. And like I said, I think this is a game where if I'm Coach Griggs, I'm loosening up the playbook. I want my players to have some fun, do some trick plays. Don't keep it normal, because keeping it normal might not be a good way for a win tonight.
Right, you definitely want your kids to stay engaged. And yeah, throwing in some trickeration out there might be just what the doctor ordered to keep everybody's head in the game. And like you said, everybody having a good time. Right, it's high school football. Have fun.
Out of the shotgun, And joining in the backfield will be Farha. It'll be a swing pass to him. Good block on the edge to free Farha, but it won't be enough for the first down. Looks like it'll be a couple yards shot.
And a really nice open field tackle there. Micah Davis will end up making the tackle on Farha. There's that block that you mentioned. And then Davis comes in just like a bolt of lightning, gets in on those legs.
I believe that was Wilson, the junior left tackle, coming over on the block. And it looks like the Pioneers will line up in a punt now from their own 28-yard line. Cabana deep for the Dreadnoughts. It does take a long time with that kick. It will take a bounce, and the Dreadnoughts will just let it be down at the 37-yard line where they'll begin their drive.
That was a really solid punt.
I like it.
With a couple of guys in his face, did a really nice job of getting his leg under it, got him solid 35, 40 yards out of it.
Well, if you're not going to bang it down the field 60 yards, a good hang time and a good 30, 35-yard kick is still good enough to change the field of possession for your defense. And again, this high-powered offense, you want them to have as much green in front of them as possible to begin with.
Yeah, working with a big field or a short field, it doesn't seem to be too much of an issue for the Dreadnoughts thus far.
Pioneer kind of in a tight formation on the defense. The handoff to Cabana up the middle, and it really doesn't matter if it's tight or loose. He's finding an opening. He'll take that one all the way down to the 37 of the Pioneers.
Just so fast, so fast. I'm trying to find new ways to describe that speed, but he gets that ball, gets that massive hole to start with, and just fires up, just eats up yards, 10 yards at a time.
You could have had an F-150 go through that hole, though. I mean, that was huge. And see, this play, the difference coming in and making the tackle for the Pioneers, is that Bonasso? It does, and then it looks like one of the Pioneers getting up a little bit slow, number 9 on the play. That Pace.
Yeah, Nicholas Pace getting up a little bit slow. But, great job by the Pioneers to recognize what that was and to collapse in on it. And, yeah, Pace came up holding his knee. Might have just got a little bit of a stinger there.
Yeah, it didn't take itself out of the game. Pioneers now on a 2nd and 6. Taylor will heave deep, but that ball is underthrown. And good defensive play for the Pioneers, number 10 on the play, batting that way. No, that was Al-Kakani, number 20, on the defense for the Pioneers.
Yeah, great job of staying with that. You'll see him stay with his man the whole way on the low end of your screen and just turns around and almost got to that.
That's the first incomplete pass for the Dreadnoughts, and if that ball's thrown on time and maybe a little deeper, it probably was a different result.
Yeah, I think you could be right about that. If he hits him in stride going deeper, but I mean there wasn't much more green for him to work with that back there.
Now right over the middle, Pericek is wide open on the seam route, and he'll take it all the way down, and he will make it into the end zone for the score for the Dreadnoughts.
And once again, I mean, we've seen this play from Pericek a few times now. He's just big. Just the size of him to start with is where you start with, but also fast. Once he gets that ball, he's just lumbering forward, and he's bigger than everybody else on that Pioneer defense. Everybody.
Well, I like to see coaches utilize players for not just their speed, but their size. And getting a tight end involved in it, we were talking about it in our last broadcast. Pericek is definitely one of the premier tight ends in the state, and he's showing why. He'll be doing that up in East Lansing next year for Coach Mel Tucker's game. Extra point is good as well. That'll be a 30-zip lead now for the Dreadnoughts with 8:54 here in the second quarter.
Dexter 30, Pioneer nothing.
Yeah, Pericek has all the tools that you want in that college tight end. He's big. He's got a good first step. He's quick. He's got hands. We haven't seen him need to block too much, but I'm sure that he can handle that aspect of things as well.
You could see as we were going, we're talking, how big the offensive linemen are for the Dreadnoughts. You saw 77. Rendernick. He was huge. I mean, these are guys that are 6'7", 280, and it looks like the Dreadnoughts are watching a little. Are they watching themselves?
The
or
Muppets,
are they
maybe?
ESPN?
Are they watching some Muppets or Stranger Things down there, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the movie of the night is, but they're into it. Kickoff now being returned by the Pioneers. That'll be Craig Tyler up to about the 28-yard line. You think they were watching CTN Sports?
I think that's very possible. That's what I'd be doing on the sideline. What else are you going to watch?
Well,
It's Friday night.
I tune into our YouTube channel just because I love watching it in 1080p.
It's beautiful. It's
I
beautiful.
love
Beautiful
it.
high definition.
Love it.
Scintillating high definition.
Man, those are words I hadn't heard in a while. So we're at 30-0 is our score with 8:47 here in the second quarter as the Pioneers take the field, and let's see how many little swing passes we see out of this drive, Nick.
I mean, they're lining up 5 wide, so I don't think you're going to see any of that unless you might try a screen pass.
Now that snap I'm going to have to blame on the QB. It hit him right in his breadbasket, and Wong drops it.
And they'll drop back a good 5 yards on that one.
I mean, we've seen all kinds of snaps over the head, through the legs. That one, little low?
It might have been a little low. That looked like that was more towards his knees. But, I mean, you got to get that. You got to get that on the fly.
QB's got to be on hot alert. That
Yep.
snaps haven't been back there on money all night long. So, yeah, it's one of the times where if it hits a hand like a receiver, catch it, man.
Well, at this point, you've got to think that Wong's got to have his head on a swivel no matter what, just for the amount of low snaps he's seen or high snaps he's seen or just irregular snaps he's seen. You got to think that he's got to be like a shortstop out there, just on the balls of his feet, ready to go with anything. I would be.
It looks like Aaron is the center for the Pioneers. A little rollout pass and a huge hit that dislodges the ball on the sideline. And are they going to call that a completed pass?
It has to be. I mean, he caught that. He made that turn. That was a brave pass to get that in between all of those Dreadnoughts. I think that's pretty much between every single linebacker. And then they caught him, gave him the business.
Evan Burkhart, I believe, on the reception there. And, man, no, they actually moved that ball back. They said that wasn't long enough for a reception. We might have to take another look at that, because, the coaches on the Pioneer sideline definitely didn't agree with the results.
I'm not sure if I do either, honestly. It sure seemed like he turned and made a football move.
Steps, yeah.
At least one and a half.
And the ball went out of bounds afterwards. So we'll maybe take a look at that play coming up. This will be a 3rd and 14 in a long time. The umpire has his hand raised, so it's only 5 seconds remaining as the snap goes. Wong will backpedal after the snap. He'll roll to his left and just dive for the sidelines, gaining nothing on the play.
And that's just an incredible job by the Dreadnought defense. Long was looking upfield. He wanted to get rid of that. He was looking to release, but everybody was covered downfield.
Let's take a look at this play where the ball came incomplete, Nick, and you tell me what you see.
I mean, he's definitely got it there. He makes the turn. I like that to be a complete pass, and that's such a bummer for the Pioneers because, I'm so sure that's a complete pass, but it was a well-thrown ball. It was caught. That got him a good chunk of yards. That last play could be a lot different if they get the benefit of the doubt there, and that keeps moving for them.
Man, that looked like Parachute coming in and landing the wood. Man, that was a big
Sure it
hit.
was. Kids everywhere.
Pioneer now lined up for a punt. And now this one, nice hang time again on the punt. Cabana, looks like that bounced off of possibly one of the Dreadnoughts. We'll see. I know how the Pioneer sideline is reacting.
Sure looked like it caught somebody's foot. I don't know if that was 12.
You saw Cabana coming up and saying fire, trying to get his players out of the area. But Noah Pitts, the junior, really close. They're still going to mark it first down for It's really hard to tell off of that bounce, but right there.
Could have been, or it might have just been the Pioneers bouncing off that, but it very well could have slid by somebody's foot there.
Either way, the Dreadnoughts now will take over on the Pioneer side of the 50. 1st and 10 from the 42.
Wonder if we're just going to see some handoffs here, or if the Dreadnoughts continue to keep that playbook open.
And it looks like there'll be a false start on Dexter. They'll move him back 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 15.
Looking for Joey Tesmer on the outside pass there, the slowish developing pass coming out of the backfield.
One of the things that Coach Jacobs definitely will have to think about, be cognizant of, is not showing too much of the playbook for his upcoming games that he has against Huron next week, against Saline down the road. Cabana now weaving his way down to about the 18-yard line off of that run. Only another 29 yards, but it looks like it'll be a holding on the Dreadnought, so that play will come back.
Yeah, we had a nice close-up of Cabana on that one, shaking his head afterwards, but there he gets the ball, makes his first man miss, and then it's just afterburners again. I mean, he goes a solid 15, 16 yards before anybody even thinks about tackling him.
Was that Rendon Kitch again, number 77? It looks like he had a handful of jersey. A little bit. If we can go back on that rewind and we can see it right about at the top of the screen. They're dancing partners right there, Nick.
Yeah, can't do that. And that's, again, going to be a bummer for Cabana and the Dreadnoughts, but they're not having too tough of a time getting these big chunks of yards, though.
Coach Griggs is happy with the results now. Unfortunately, they had to give the ball to Cabana, and he is gone.
And he just left. He left 10 Pioneers in the dust 2 steps in.
55 yards, just like that. Cabana in for a touchdown for the Dreadnoughts, and yeah, you're right, Nick. He shot out of a cannon.
There it is. Just, I mean, some of the Pioneers weren't even turned around before he was past them.
I mean, he even actually, number 16 for the Pioneers, was kind of in chase, but Jacoby Holmes, gets passed by Cabana, who outruns the angle. That's sick.
Yeah, just a really incredible talent that we're seeing on display here tonight. Again, those natural abilities, but also just smart play.
And now that will be a 37-0 lead for the Dreadnoughts after the extra point. And, you know, let's take one more look at that run. I mean, that was a sweet run.
Yeah, not a lot of fanciness, not a lot of fanfare, just gets it and just
Good
goes
blocking, too.
0 to 100. They opened that hole up for him nicely. Huge. He had room.
Boy, Cabana is having himself a day.
Certainly has his second rushing touchdown of the evening. He also had that kick return to start things off, about a 70-yard kick return to get the scoring party started for the Dreadnoughts. And yeah, he's definitely the guy that stirs the drink for the Dreadnoughts.
Uh-oh. Well, I tell you what, it's actually that touchdown sent a couple fans on the Dexter sideline to the parking lot already, trying to beat traffic as the kickoff goes down to the Pioneers. And it's picked up at the 10, and that'll be all she wrote. Up to about the 24-yard line, where Pioneer will begin their drive.
And now the big trick for the Pioneers will be to eat up some clock, get some positives, get a few first downs at least. You know, if I'm long, I'm thinking about finding some of those players again, whether it's Farha, whether it's maybe finally making a connection to Ocean Brebs, and moving things forward. I'm curious. I doubt you're going to see a whole heck of a lot of runs, designed runs at least, but maybe they'll pull out some misdirection. We've seen that from them as well. Possibly play action pass, maybe putting some receivers in motion. but I will once again see 2 backs back there with Wong, and I really think that's less about handing off, and I do believe it's more about protecting your sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, especially when one of the running backs is a receiver, Farha. He'll take the option and go nowhere. Stop hard on the play. Coming up for Dexter is Davis Taylor.
I like the idea, though, that, something a little bit different.
We talked about
Try it
that.
out.
We said open up the playbook, and this is a way that you're doing twofold here, Nick. You're getting your playmaker in a different position, and you're not calling the same little swing passes.
Yep, and we did have that little bit of misdirection. You saw one of the running backs go up the middle that might have taken 1 or 2 of the Dreadnoughts off the ball. That might have given Wong at least another step and a half before he could pitch that back to Farha. As you said, though, nothing doing.
No, Dexter was right there on the spot, and it's the way their defense is aligned. You don't see too many safeties deep. You see a double team on some of the receivers, which has an extra defender to come up and sniff out some of those option plays.
Well, you just see a whole lot of linebackers, whether they're linebackers dropping back into coverage or moving after Wong like that.
Awesome play from Wong. I mean, right in his face, it looks like it was Emmerich, just destined for another sack. And Wong just, what did we call it last week, the stank leg? It looks like he just said, I'm out of here.
But still not, just no end in sight to him. He thinks he's got around those 4 or 5 guys, which he did, but then here comes that other outside linebacker, and here comes that defensive back or safety, whoever that is. And again, big kids coming after him.
Big and fast.
Yep.
I mean, this team is definitely athletic, this Dreadnought squad.
Yeah, you're not number 1 in the state ranked by luck, just cuz. And we're seeing that tonight.
And this is a historic team. Best start since 1966. That's why you have, they have folks traveling with them to see them on these long road games from Dexter all the way up here to Pioneer. Wong now will take the snap. Look over to his right. Won't see any action. He'll put things in his own hands, and he'll burst for a first down. And that looks to be about a 17, 18-yard run, Nick.
And aside from getting away from everything, he had a nice little move, nice little shoulder shimmy that got him an extra 5-6 yards there. Here we'll see him just look for it, give up on it. He's like, hey, I finally see some green here. And there's that little move there that got him that extra 6-7 yards.
Yeah, Noah Pitts came up for the tackle for Dexter, but he just got wiggled around there by Wong. Great wheels.
Yeah, Wong continues to be that general that you want from the Pioneers, right? It's an uphill battle. Things aren't going great, but he's not slouching. He's giving everything that he possibly can out there.
And now a run straight up the middle. Looks like Bonasso.
But for positive yardage.
Sam Bonasso on the run.
A lot of motion and faking going on back in the backfield by Wong.
But at the end of the day, he did it the old-fashioned way. He followed 2 blockers, was right on their backs. He saw these 2 guys. They're going to give me at least a little bit of a look, and I'll just fall forward and 3 yards out of it.
North-south running and keeping it in between the tackles and keeping Dexter's offense on the sidelines.
That's critical right now.
Huge.
Yep.
So now we're just at the 2-minute mark. Craig in motion. Wong now rolls out. He'll find his man. Looks like Ocean Brad's finally.
I think that was Bonasso, actually.
Bonasso, yeah.
Here, let's take a look at everything at the end of the play here. Little extra. It looks like, I think he was trying to do the worm, but there might have been somebody underneath him.
Yeah, that looked like a WWE move there with a knee to the head. I'm sorry.
I don't think that was a knee.
if you don't see it, you can't throw a penalty. And but we caught you. It's on CTN.
And that's frustration. That's a little bit of immaturity. You don't want to start something.
Well, you actually you want to keep your composure and do it the right way.
Exactly right.
If you're getting beat, kudos to the other person. You don't want to take it outside of the game. And now Wong under pressure again. He'll go down to the sideline, and I'm not sure if that ball is live or if that is – they're going to call him down, the official being very kind, because that could have been a penalty flag, Nick.
And the official's closer, but to my eyes up here, it didn't look like he was down. It looks like he saved himself and then just launched that ball away.
Yeah, but I think according to the new rules, as far as being outside of the blocking box, he's definitely out of the box, but it did not look like that ball made it to the line of scrimmage or a receiver in the area before his knee touched the ground.
No, yeah, that left knee might have been down, right? Yeah, probably, most likely down. You can see it skidding. Yeah, he was down.
Yeah, and it was a good job by the officials from not calling it incomplete by saying he was down, and now it's a 4th and forever. May actually just allow this to go to a penalty or allow the time to run out. Only 5 seconds left. Jingno gets a foot on it, and it'll go to Cabana, who loses the ball at midfield, and that will be a fumble recovered by Pioneer. Unfortunately, there's no time left on the clock.
That is a really unfortunate break for the Pioneers to have that kind of mental mistake by the Dreadnoughts, but unable to take advantage of it at the end of the first half.
So as we go to our halftime break, it's been all the Dexter Dreadnoughts as they lead 37-0 over your Pioneers. We'll be right back with a great halftime show from the Pioneer Band, folks.
of Fine Arts School in New York, the Eagles of Americans, musical drama was inspired by chorus line of 1970s. It had its Broadway debut in November of 2003 and won an Academy Award for Best Original Song and a Golden Globe Best Actor. Pioneer fans, we close our competition with playing the song, Game.
Greasy pizza boxes.
Ugh, glass bottles not emptied.
Yogurt containers with... Ew! Cat food still in the can is bad.
But oh, so good.
Hey, what are you doing?
Relax, Mom. We're here to help.
Oh, this stuff could ruin the entire recycling load.
Wow, I had no idea.
Chill, we'll show you the ropes.
Michigan needs to recycle better, and that change starts with you. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
And welcome back to Hallway Field. I'm Kevin Bryant, joining my man Nick in the booth. And Nick, this game got out of hand after the first time Dexter touched the ball and Cabana took it to the house. And Dexter has not let their foot off the gas pedal since.
Right you are. I mean, the Pioneers started off with the ball. They seemed like they were doing a little something, moving the sticks a little bit. They got a couple of first downs, but inevitably had to punt away. Cabana received it, like you said, took it into the house for 70 yards. After that, you're looking at nothing but dreadnought, just crushage. They're just there. They're doing whatever they want. We were joking at halftime that their offense doesn't look like they have any dirt on their uniforms.
Yeah.
Quarterback's barely been touched. Only one incomplete pass. They're the number one ranked state in the team, Division II, and we see why. Right? They've got a lot of talent. Obviously, that goes a long way, but they're playing strong football as well.
And when you take a look at the body language on the sideline, it doesn't look like anybody for the Dreadnoughts is dialed out. They're still into this game, and that says a lot about the coaching staff for Dexter. I mean, they definitely went in at halftime and told the guys, game's not over, 0-0 on the scoreboard, and that's the way that this team has come out. And they kind of have that look like they still have some work to do.
Right, well, this game is, let's be honest, probably out of hand. They're going to come away with the W here. But they need to get used to playing these games that are 48 minutes long.
True. And as far as the Pioneers are concerned, we know that they'll have a running clock going in the second half unless they're able to score and bring it up under a 35-point deficit as the Pioneers line up to kick off to begin the second half. It'll be Cabana from his own 15. He'll weave his way through. Unfortunately, he has an opening, and he will take it 85 yards to the house for the Dreadnoughts touchdown.
Now, Kevin, we'll see this on the replay in a minute. You said there he is, he has an opening, but it was a really nice job of Cabana slowing up initially. He sat, he waited for his hole to open up, and then he hit it hard and then got through. But as we'll see, after that reception, you'll see him take it nice and slow, wait for his hole to develop, wait for his blockers to get set. Here you'll see that little bit of a slowdown right here, and then
he's gone. And it was a good kickoff, too. I mean, kicked off all the way down to the 15 by Jing, and you would think that would set him up. It didn't get kicked into an area where Cabana had to go to one side or the other. He only had one path to the end zone, and he took it.
Well, and he took it short side, too, right? He didn't have to go and make a lot of people miss. He didn't do anything special going around the edge. Once again, we've seen him just go pretty much north-south and utilize that speed that he has.
Yeah, and I don't even think he would have been downed if he had flags on. They were trying to grab a flag out. I mean, it was tough to put a finger on Cole Cabana.
You know, and it did. It started with those blockers up front, but yeah, once he hit that scrimmaging area, just gone. Just really good speed. Quite a talent. Quite a talent down there for the Dreadnoughts.
And disheartening for the Pioneers after coming in from the halftime break, feeling like, you know, we still not just have an opportunity, but let's just start fresh. Let's start 0-0. And that had to be some of the coaches' speak coming from Coach Griggs. But when that is the result on the very first play, man, the air is just steaming out that balloon.
Right, knocked out of you 11 seconds in.
So the Dreadnoughts will line up to kick off for their first time here in the second half. Possibly we'll start to see Coach Jacobs rotate some of the other players on the 50-man or 53-man squad. I mean, they got a large squad too, the Dreadnoughts do.
Yeah, that sideline is full of white jerseys. No reason not to get some of these other dudes in there at this point.
And in the inverse of that is Pioneers. Number 18 is Holmes. And he runs across the field. Actually, that was 14. And 14's not on a roster. But it looks like he took it across the field to only a minimal gain on the play, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 21.
That was a lot of work for not a lot of game. But I mean, he did make a lot of guys miss. And you know, to the Pioneers' credit, there was blocking up front for him as best they could.
Charles Cameron on the return there. And it's a little, well, the difference between Cabana taking his time to set up blocks, and you saw there a person trying to outrun and get to the edge.
Yeah, he had to make it happen for him and you know, go from position to position, blocker to blocker like that. Absolutely.
Wong now again will begin the second half. He'll step through the rush initially, but he'll be sacked on the play by number 80.
Initial man in there was Corey Baker, 97. You'll see him move around. Just, again, another big kid. But once he moves around that outside edge, that opened up two other interior linemen to come in and just surround Wong.
Baker's the size of not just a Saturday, a Sunday guy. 6'3", 295 defensive end in high school.
Yeah, you don't see that kind of size very often.
He's not on a keto diet. And now Wong, second down, will look to his left. Will find a receiver open. Was that Brabs on the reception? Nope, that's Brabs down here. That looks like Hosman. Or is it Burkhardt? I'm going to get it right. I'm going to just go right down the roster.
Just go down the entire roster. You're going to hit
get one of them.
eventually, right? Regardless, though, I really do like that play from the Pioneers. Quick little slant pass. Good ball in there.
3rd and 7.
Just a quality football play and something you can hopefully build on. Get a few yards and see what happens next. Maybe next time he makes somebody miss.
And good job by the blockers by not being downfield and catching a penalty. This time they'll go the opposite way to Farha. Farha will run right into number 1, Makai Davis. But it looks like he's going to have enough yardage for the first down.
Yeah, really nice play there. Not sure if that was a setup screen. It looked like it, but there was not a whole heck of a lot of blocking if that was a screen pass. But didn't need it. Turned it upfield, got those extra yards, got that first down, and now maybe Pioneers got something to work with here.
Yeah, and to your point, the passes on the edge, Nick, are kind of like long runs. They're consistently trying to get away from those big hog mollies up in the interior line and get their play makers the ball out on the edge.
Yeah, we're talking about Corey Baker and Devin Emmerich and all those other kids out there who only rushing 3 and then putting that other linebacker out there to maybe get 4. But yeah, you're exactly right. Get it to the outside, throw something quick, and take those guys out of the equation. The trick is releasing quick from Wong. There's another one.
And Wong now be successful, and that pass will go for about 7 yards down the field.
And now the thing is, for Wong, you get in this rhythm, right? You receive the snap, in your head, you've got this clock, you've got this timing, your arm's feeling good. That was a really nice kind of short arm pass there, and now he's feeling it. Now the big thing right now, Kevin, is please, 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 if you're the center, keep giving him that ball. We can't have another one of those low
Any kind of mistakes, yeah, you're right. And it would be a big mental achievement for the Pioneers just to get across midfield.
Yeah, baby steps. Baby steps, right? We talked about Coach Griggs wanting his team to someday be at the point where Dexter's at. You're going to have to play these good teams, and you're going to have these benchmarks.
Wong now rolled to his left, and he'll get out of bounds, beating the traffic, and looks like it was Baker again on the chase. So that'll bring up a 3rd and short for the Pioneers. Still some strong student section faithful over there for the Pioneers. Good to see them sticking around for the second half, not exiting. Support your classmates, man.
Right, it's Friday, it's high school, right? Like this, what else are you gonna go do? Just come out here, hang out. It's not that cold.
No, it's
I'm
not.
a little cold.
No.
It's not that cold.
In 2 months, though, Nick, this will be as summer weather.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the upper 50s right now. It's a little bit chilly out just because it was 80 degrees yesterday. And now Wong will look for Farha again. And it looks like he'll take that short pass right near midfield, but that'll be enough for Pioneers' first down.
Yeah, another really quick rhythm play for the Pioneers to Farha Melbourne. Having a nice night this evening.
In the first game of the year when we saw Pioneer play up against Huron, we were mentioning that sometimes you can put a smaller playbook together and execute better. Right now I feel that's what Coach Griggs is doing. The playbook isn't too big, but they're executing well.
Yeah, get good at the basic fundamental things. That's what you want to do is get, really just execute those simple things, and then the other stuff will happen. And, maybe by 4th quarter, maybe they will try to do some more of the trick plays or do something a little more fun in this direction. But you want to build that rhythm.
Brabs now, he'll start from a traditional position for a tight end, but chased out of bounds on the play. He'll go for a little bit of a gain, will be Wong. And it looks like a Dexter player, and that is getting up a little bit short as Baker.
Wong's continued self-preservation here. See him running for his life with those big monsters coming after him. And then one in front as well, and he slides off to the side, does a great job of avoiding that, and had the opposing players bang into each other.
Nathan Gersh, some friendly fire delivered to Corey Baker as Baker makes his way to the sideline. after that play. And it looks like there's a little bit of a discussion going on with the Pioneer sideline as far as the play is concerned.
Yeah, you see Brabs there taking a look at his wristband. You see Wong taking a look at his wristband. Brabs looked like he was limping a little bit when coming up to the line of scrimmage, so I hope he's okay.
Another bad snap hauled in there by Wong. Wong will throw the ball up, and luckily that ball was not picked off by the Dreadnoughts.
The key player of the game, Key, was delivered up here at halftime, and I just really, Wong won it last week. I just really like him. He's a lot of fun. He takes everything in stride, seemingly, like that right there. Snap over his head. But he still managed to get his feet kind of planted and toss it out towards some receivers. Something could have happened there. This kid takes a licking, keeps on ticking kind of feel to him. I really like what I'm seeing from him.
Wow. Another time the snap, it looks like it surprised the QB. He'll find Craig along the sidelines, but not much of a gain there. Craig will go out of bounds, and they'll actually lose yardage on the play. That was a perfect snap.
That was towards his face mask, and it just kind of slipped through him.
A lot of processing going through the mind of Wong. And, again, good athlete to not only just gather that snap, but to make it something a positive out of a negative.
Yeah, and I mean, sadly, it seems like he's probably been doing a lot of that this season, so it's become almost the norm for him, unfortunately. But yeah, bad snaps or muff snaps or the ball hitting off his hands, he takes it and runs with it. And
some growing pains, right?
Right, and it is these things, as long as he doesn't get absolutely destroyed at some point during this season. Like, these things are going to be a really big part of him growing forward, being a junior, senior quarterback for the next couple of years.
Now we got Mekhi Davis taking in the punt return, and he wants to get on the scoreboard as he is going to take it to the house, and that is going to be a 73-yard punt return for the touchdown for the Dreadnoughts. As we were saying, some other names will probably start to surface for the Dreadnoughts as the score gets way out of hand. And again, it's probably more athletic ability than blocking efficiency on that return.
Well, there was a couple of blocks up front that we saw there, but yeah, once he saw a little bit of maneuverability, he worked his way around, found the open spaces, and just blew by those Pioneer defenders.
And as the kick is up, and it is good, which will make the score 51-0. Yeah, the way that Davis, he weaved his way up the field kind of looked like Cabana, where he was under control.
Yeah, that's a great call. They both had that composure, that self-control. There you see him just pick it up. He waits a little bit. There's where the majority of the blockers happen. But just right there, just past everybody.
Yeah, and looking at the tape when Coach Griggs is watching this one on CTN tomorrow morning, he's going to see that you have some linemen out on your punt return team, and maybe that's something that you can fix going into the latter part of the season by taking those big hog mollies that have been blocking and replacing them maybe with some defenders that can be on your punt team to go out and make a tackle.
Yeah, that's the whole game plan. As you see somebody possibly watching some game film there, or maybe
they're not
playing
watching
FIFA.
game film.
Maybe playing FIFA. I don't know.
FIFA.
That's the idea, though, right? You got to learn. That's true. You got to learn. You got to make these adjustments, and that's what the really good coaches do. Is they figure out what's working for their team, what's not working for their team, and making those adjustments.
And now on the punt return, or the kickoff return for the Pioneers, ball will be returned up to about the 25-yard line where the Pioneers will begin their drive. And that looked like Evan Berghardt on that. Hey, now that's a shot.
Beautiful. Looks good. We'll have some Michigan football going on tomorrow afternoon.
No, they got a noon kick tomorrow. Tomorrow's, Maryland, opening of the Big Ten season. Maybe we'll have a game under 50 points for Michigan this year.
As always, right across the way of Pioneer High School. It's got to be an interesting commute into class or leaving class. You just see that out there.
And you can see where in the background there that the Fox is going to be broadcasting the game, and they have their crew. They got their whole setup going on, taking over.
We could probably go crash.
You know, that used to be the thing when I worked at back at WTKA back in the day. We would go over and just visit the tailgating parking lot, but not anymore. No more Pioneer tailgating beforehand. So that'll be the end of the third quarter as we have a running clock, and the Dexter Dreadnoughts lead the Pioneers 51-0.
Ottawa is about to be one of the first cities in Canada with advisory cycling lanes. Popular in Europe and in the US, the system is great for adding cycling lanes to streets where they wouldn't otherwise fit, narrow roads with low volume traffic and low speeds. Here's how they work. Traffic from both sides share one center lane. Cycling lanes are placed on each side of the road. When there are two drivers traveling in opposite directions, the vehicles move into the cycling lanes to pass each other safely. What happens if there's a bike in the cycling lane? Whoever is in front has the right of way. Vehicles travel behind the bike, but can then move back into the center lane when it is safe to do so. It is a whole new way for drivers and cyclists to share the road.
The locations for the advisory bike lanes in Ann Arbor have been deployed on East Summit Street, Granger between State Street and Packard, and in the downtown on East William Street and South First Avenue.
And welcome back to Hallway Field, as this has been just a lopsided affair from the beginning, Nick, and it's been a lot of playmakers on the Dexter Dreadnought sidelines showing off speed and ability.
Yeah, it's everything we expected from this Dreadnought team. They are the #1 team in the state, and they're going to be forcing their people out early, trying to beat the traffic. There's
not going to be a traffic jam at the end of this game as the side or the stands start to thin out here with our running clock in the fourth period. Looks like everything's ready to go. Looks like we're going to get a new quarterback in for the Pioneers. Be number 5. He'll pitch it out, and that's LaPointe.
Yeah, we've seen some of Corey LaPointe's work so far this season a few times when Wong was either banged up or they were trying to get a little something for him. So I'm curious if they'll give him some legitimate reps, or we're just going to see a lot of handoffs or some tosses like we just saw there.
Yeah, and Bonasso here again trying to get to the outside, but when the defender is out there waiting for you to come to them, that's just tough. That's tough sledding.
Yeah, the Dreadnoughts sniffed that one out pretty early, and like you said, I mean, they were just, those outside linebackers were just waiting for him to get the ball so they can bring him down to the backfield.
As the clock keeps ticking down on our running clock, you do see some new players in on both sides of the ball now. Some smaller defensive linemen that are college size maybe. I mean, they are pro size on the starting line for the Dreadnoughts. And that'll be a pass to the sidelines, and that will be hauled in. And Ocean Brabs will finally get on the stat sheet with the reception.
Yeah, really nice job by LaPointe to get out there, get rid of it, and a high throw where only Brabs is going to be able to go up and get it. Really nice work of ups, pulling that down. Close to the sideline there, but they're going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that.
Oh, especially on that sideline. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got the Pioneer coaches running over saying, of course those feet were in bounds. He only needed one. Now LaPointe again, running things. Split out near side is going to be Aaron. Oh, LaPointe will look downfield, though. And Farha haul that one in. And he'll take it to the Dexter side of the 50. Big play, just what the Pioneers needed.
Yeah, great job there, start to finish. You see LaPointe looking for him the whole way, but still has to make himself a little bit of room to get there on the run, toss it up. Really great strength behind that throw. I mean, again, he threw that kind of light on his feet, but a really good long toss, and Farha brings it in and does what he's been doing best.
Yeah, Malik Farha is just a ball hawk. No matter if you just put it in the vicinity, he's going to go up and out-battle the defender for the rock.
Well, you see him running excellent routes, too. I mean, he's very crisp, and that's part of the reason why he's open as much as he is.
Now LaPointe will fake it, and he'll trot to the sideline, and as opposed to taking a hit, he's a smart quarterback. He'll take a slide for no gain on the play.
Well, he was running right at least 4 dreadnoughts. There's no point in taking a hit unnecessarily. A little RPO action there, that would have gotten eaten up.
Business decision. I want to still play in this game.
Yep.
I'm not trying to take any bruises that are unnecessary.
Right, it's Friday. I got a whole weekend in front of me.
Yes, indeed. And the backup QB's been seeing all of the hits that Wong has taken all game long. So he's like, hey, man, that's all you. This is what you should do. Slide to second base.
From Wong. Yeah, exactly.
Now LaPointe, empty backfield. Throw to the top side. Be Tyler Craig on the reception. He'll take it across the 30-yard line, near another first down for the Pioneers. Actually, it's only a 5-yard gain. Deceiving. That's a horrible marker. Did he just get thrown backwards?
I mean, he definitely got whirled around and pushed out, but yeah, it's hard to see where that spot could have been.
Yeah, because his forward progress was one spot upfield, and then he gets tossed backwards where he goes out of bounds. They usually give you your progress. 7:30 remaining on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Pioneers in no hurry, really. We're really just trying to not go home with the 0 on the scoreboard.
Yes, stay alive. Don't get smashed by these dreadnoughts, and try to get the positivity of a score.
And that'll be a first down for the Pioneers. Ocean Brabs on the reception, and that'll come to the 25.
LaPointe again with a little bit of a play action pass, and Brabs receives that nicely, cuts up into the middle, which I don't always recommend going into these linebackers, but took a few pops, still got a couple extra yards there.
You saw number 30 Del Duca for the Dreadnoughts really pounded the turf as he was upset with himself, missing that tackle on Brabs.
Also worth mentioning again, Kevin, as quickly as this is moving along, there's only 6 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. That third quarter flew by like lightning. So before anything goes too far, we do want to thank everybody that makes these games possible. Our camera operators, Katsumi Nagai, Mike Koski, Mo El Mazri up there, audio replay Jackson Gorlin, and of course, director Rob Cross out there.
Boy, now that was a big hit on the point. You saw why he took the slide earlier, coming up and laying some wood on him with 32, Connor Robeson.
Yeah, LaPointe thought he was away.
Yeah, Robeson gave him some good wood.
Yeah, he gave him the business there. I mean, a good hit, not a great tackle.
Oh, yeah.
But, as a linebacker coming up on the quarterback, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to assert yourself and send a message like, hey, you stay in the pocket.
Yeah, and definitely it'll be up on his Twitter page or Instagram. And that reminds me, if you're watching the game, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at A2 Sports, A2CTNsports.com. Yeah, I always say .com. You don't have to put .com at the end of that.
No.
Incomplete pass there from LaPointe.
Here we see LaPointe rolling out once again. That seems to be the game plan, rolling out, doing a nice job of directing traffic, but just tossing it a little too high there.
Yeah, Farha right off of his hands, and maybe possibly could have went up with 2 hands to grab that, as opposed to just trying it with 1.
And I think that it's possible that Farha took that for granted. Just, I'm going to get this. He was already kind of turning as that was coming around. Yep.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 12 for Pioneer at the 26-yard line. So I think your question on your mind right now, Nick, is who's that key player of the game going to be? I mean, we're winding down to your time.
Yes, it will be my time to shine here shortly. Is it cliche to give it to Cabana? He's had some really big plays. He's done it, whether kick return, punt return, couple of rush touchdowns. I mean, he has touched the end zone.
Parachek has been good, too. I mean, he's been done both on offense and defense.
That's
he's made a couple A couple big plays coming in and getting in Wong's face, and then having some sticky fingers and finding the end zone as well.
Right you are. Big decisions all around. Big decisions all around.
You see Coach Griggs yelling in the plays of LaPointe. And that now with just under 4 minutes remaining on the clock, empty backfield, Farha in motion. LaPointe will look down the middle of the field. It's got a man open, and that'll be Brabs for the touchdown. Oh, that is a good play for your Pioneers.
That was just a great play all around for the Pioneers. You're completely right. Like, it developed exactly they wanted it. They got Brabs open up the middle, good toss to him, nice reception, and it ends in a touchdown, which is so huge for these Pioneers right now.
Yeah, and Brabs with a good route up the seam and really made sure he hauled that one in. And that is something you can build on.
Yeah.
That's something you put on the film.
Well, this entire drive for the Pioneers has been really solid. You know, it's been almost mistake-free. It's been penalty-free, which is huge. Yeah, this will be one they can look at quite a bit.
And it looks like we have a new kicker in. Number 20, is it? Or that's number 30. We don't have like that 30. Person on the roster. And the kick is good, though.
I could be wrong, and I might be, if I'm misstating this, I apologize, but it sounded like he possibly said Becky Wong. Hard to say, though. I'm sorry. If I got that wrong, I apologize.
Yeah, because that might be the quarterback's sister.
Never know. It might be a family affair if that's the case.
And that's another bad snap, and even with the laces at the kicker.
Laces in. Bad snap. He got it, but he spun it around exactly incorrectly. but the kicker got it out there.
I love how you said that. Exactly incorrectly. No.
Yeah, we'll take this look at this excellent pass to Brabs one more time. Really nice play.
David Cole on the defense for Dexter was beaten on the play, but yeah, LaPointe put it only where his man could catch that ball.
Yep, great job, great job. Brabs keeping his head in that. Despite having a man sort of in front of him, he went up, he got it, and onside kick.
Wow.
Question mark?
You don't see too many onside kicks with under 2 minutes left on a running clock, and you're down 51-7. I mean, that's you got to kick the ball off deep, right? You don't want to.
I guess why not at this point, right? That's my thought. Why not?
Wow, it looks like there was a penalty on the play, and I can't believe that, but they're actually going to call a delay of game. The official is trotting off to the sideline, not in position, so that cannot have been a delay of game. Really weird call there, but it's the time of the game where we have weird calls, and the Pioneers will off a delay of game on a kickoff. That's right. You heard me right, folks. A delay of game on a kickoff. And it looks like another onside kick attempt. It'll be recovered by Dexter. That'll be the only freshman on Dexter's roster, Nathan Gershon. And, oh, wow. Look at all the Dexter folks. And you see them starting to celebrate a little bit before they hit the parking lot. I'm not sure what the theme was tonight other than rating all of the flag t-shirts in the area and hats. But the Dreadnoughts will make that very short drive back down to Dexter, and that'll actually be the final play of our game as we are going to end things here as the clock ticks down to 0 and the teams come to the midfield and exchange handshakes. Well, folks, this has been a fantastic matchup between really a great offense and the Pioneer defense, because that's all we saw, a lot of scoring from this high-scoring Dexter team that's averaged 43 points a game, and they did not disappoint on their first time on CTN Sports. So we'll find out where Nick is at on the field. We can see him walking over there with his jacket on. He's about to find a player and bestow our key player of the game if we can. But we'll give Nick a couple moments, and we'll be right back after this break.
And here we're down on the field, Cole Cabana, key player of the game. Before we could get down here for the interview, you said, hey, give me a second, I want to get into the student section. Why is that so important?
I mean, you know, we went through a couple rough years. We didn't win too many games. And to see the community just stick with us, it really means a lot. And we got to give them some credit. So it's always important to celebrate with our school.
So you mentioned that you guys are rolling now. What is it like to get another win out here against Pioneer moving forward?
I mean, obviously, we've been working real hard for this. It's a long time coming, and I mean, we can't be too surprised because we're expecting to win every single game, and we want to make it far in the playoffs for sure.
And last, you keep using the word we, which I love. You had a great night, but a lot of that was made by blocking up front and a total team effort. Tell me about that.
Our O-line's real good this year. I mean, we played some pretty good teams, and I mean, I haven't been tackled in the backfield yet, I don't think. So they've been doing an amazing job, and our receivers have been blocking like crazy. And I mean, everything's just clicking for us, and our team's rolling for sure.
For sure. Total team effort here for the Dreadnoughts tonight. Cole Cabana, key player of the game. Thank you so much, sir. Kevin, back to you.
Perfect key player of the game. We kind of broke our tradition by getting a visitor the key player of the game, but he took it. So for Nick Wisniewski and the entire CTN crew, I'm Kevin Bryant, asking you to join us again next week here on CTN Sports Game of the Week. Good night, folks.